So today we are having a discussion on animal tissues, starting with the basics, that is the cell. Now the cell forms the basic structural and functional unit of all living organisms, and when a group of cells which are structurally similar or a group of cells which are doing a similar function come together, they form a tissue. Now coming to our topic, that is animal tissues are of four types: the connective tissue, the epithelial tissue, the nervous tissue, and the muscular tissue. Epithelial tissue, they form the covering or the protective tissues of the animal body. Thus they have a barrier function. Now the characteristics of epithelial tissues are that the cells are very tightly packed to form a continuous sheet. There's a very small amount of cementing substance and the intercellular spaces are almost nil. Now, the first type of epithelium is the squamous epithelium. The cells of squamous epithelium are very thin and delicate. So, therefore, they help in diffusion of substances across them. They are found in the lining the blood vessels and in the alveoli of lung. Squamous epithelium cells are found in multiple layers. They form the stratified squamous epithelium. Now the stratified squamous epithelium is of two types: the keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, which is found in the skin and it has a protective function. Now the non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium is found lining the esophagus and the inside of the mouth. Now the second type of epithelium is the cuboidal epithelium. Here the cells are cube shaped. These are found in the ducts of salivary glands, and they also line the tubules of the kidney. Now the third type of epithelium is the columnar epithelium, where the cells are tall and pillar-like. This type of epithelium is found in the lining of intestines. They help in facilitate the movement of substances across them. Now a special type of columnar epithelium is found in the respiratory tract called the ciliated columnar epithelium. The cilia are hair-like projections on the surface of the columnar epithelium, and the cilia beat and clear the respiratory tract of the secretions in them. Now sometimes the epithelium folds inwards and forms a multicellular glandular structure called the glandular epithelium. Now the second type of tissues are connective tissues. These are the binding and supporting tissues. The characteristics are that the cells are very loosely packed and they're embedded in a intercellular matrix. Now the matrix can be jelly-like, it can be fluid, it can be rigid, or it can be dense. Now the types of connective tissue. First, the fluid connective tissue, example being blood and lymph. Now in case of blood, the matrix is the plasma, and in the plasma are the blood cells, that are the RBCs, the WBCs, and the platelets. Now the blood functions to transport gases, digested food, hormones, and wastes to the body organs. The second type of connective tissue is the skeletal connective tissue. Now it is of two types: bone and cartilage. Now bones form the framework of the body and they provide anchor for the muscles. The matrix of the bone is really hard and it is made of calcium and phosphate. Second type, the cartilage. The matrix is made up of proteins and sugar, and the cells are widely spaced. Now the function of cartilage is that it forms a smooth covering of the bony surface at joints, forming the articular cartilage, and it also forms the nose, the ear cartilage, and it's also present in the trachea and the larynx. Fibrous connective tissue, they are of two types: ligaments and tendons. Now ligament connect two bones. A simple trick of how you can remember this is ligament link bones, so LLB. Now they are elastic and they have a good strength. In case of tendons connect muscle to bone. They have a good strength, but they're not that flexible. Areolar tissue. Now it is a very loose connective tissue with a jelly-like matrix, and in the matrix the fibers and cells are very loosely arranged. It fills up the space inside organs, it supports the organs, and it also helps in the repair of tissues. The fat storing tissue is called the adipose tissue. It is present in between the organs and beneath the skin, and the adipose tissue acts as the insulator. Muscular tissue. Now, muscular tissue helps in the movement of the body. It's made up of cells called the muscle fibers. These cells have proteins called the contractile proteins, which contract and relax, thus causing muscle contractions and relaxations. Now, the muscle fibers are of three types: the striated muscles, the smooth muscles, and the cardiac muscles. The striated muscles are long, elongated, and when they're seen under microscope, they have these alternate dark and light bands, giving them a striated appearance, and hence they name the striated muscles, and they are multinucleate in nature. The striated muscle help in the voluntary movement of the body. Now, the second type of muscle fibers are the smooth muscle fibers. The cells are elongated and they have pointed ends. That is, they have a spindle shape, and these are unstriated. The smooth muscle fiber help in involuntary movements of the body. So they are found in the iris, the ureters, and also lining the alimentary tract of the body. The third type of muscle fibers are the cardiac muscle fibers. Now, cardiac muscle fibers are found in heart, and they are responsible for the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the heart. They are elongated, branched, and they are uninucleate, and they also have alternate dark and light bands forming striations. Now, coming to the nervous tissue. Now, this type of tissue specializes in having the ability of being stimulated and then being able to transmit the stimulus from one part of the body to other. The nervous tissue is found in the brain, the spinal cord, and the nerves. The cells of the nervous tissue are called neurons. Now, the parts of neuron are a cell body having the cell membrane and a cytoplasm and the nucleus. Now, many hair-like projections arise from the cell body, and these are called the dendrites. Now, the neuron has a single long process, usually called the axon, and it terminates in the nerve endings, which helps it transmit the signal further. Many neurons come together to form a nerve.